Hello lovelies, it's officially linen season. Linen is supposed to be your secret weapon to effortless style that looks elegant, timeless, and very chic. However, most people get it completely wrong. So in today's video, I'm sharing the 7 mistakes that most people make and the easy way to fix it so you can actually achieve that classic European summer look. And part of the problem is that a lot of these mistakes are subtle, but it's the small details that are quietly ruining your entire look. If you're wearing the wrong shoes, accessories, or even third layers, you can end up looking frumpy instead of put together. The good news is that once you see them, you can't unsee them. So let's get right to it. Welcome back. And if you're new, I'm Zeba and I'm so happy you're here. I'm here to help you fall in love with getting dressed again and make fashion less intimidating. So make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a video. The first mistake that you're making with your linen is pairing it with the wrong materials. Linen is supposed to be light, breathable, low maintenance, and very forgiving. For example, pairing these linen pants with a leather jacket just brings a lot of heaviness into the outfit that is not consistent with the light, airy fabric that linen is supposed to provide. Linen's other offenders are sequins, velvet, tweed. A very easy way to think about it is like, if it's a winter fabric, more likely than not, you do not want to wear it with your linen. This would include velvet, leather. Suede can be the exception for that just because suede can feel a little bit lighter and more buttery. So it just really depends on the cut and kind of like how you're thinking strategically. So with some accessories, it might work. Instead of using these heavier fabrics, you want to reach for other materials that are equally light, scream summer. For example, denim is great, cotton, and any kind of gauzy fabric like silk that sits really nicely paired with linen. Poplin shirt like the one here that I'm pairing with the green linen pants that is also very lightweight and it matches the consistency and overall aesthetic of the outfit. This example here, I'm pairing a really cute checkered red and white linen top with jeans and sandals that keeps up the lightness. And then with this shirt here, wearing it with the white denim skirt that keeps the lightness and it matches the intention of the fabric, but just adds a little bit more shape than if I'm wearing linen on linen, which is always a welcome thing. Linen on linen is a really easy way just to not have to guess and get it right. Related to this is number 2, the wrong footwear. When you're wearing any kind of linen bottom, think shorts or trousers, and you have either a very chunky sneaker, a heavy leather boot, or chunky loafers, it also doesn't match the aesthetic that the linen is trying to create. And so instead of looking put together with your linen, because linen tends to be a little bit more wrinkly and softer, then when you're putting these heavier shoes on, it almost looks like you kind of got out of bed, and paired with, like, for example, the leather jacket, it just feels really disjointed to see a pair of linen pants that is soft and gauzy, almost pajama-like, with the heavy leather jacket, with heavy ankle boots. It just kind of destroys the ethereal nature of the outfit that you're trying to create. You don't necessarily have to wear espadrilles, sandals, or flip-flops, although those are welcome. You can also opt for slingback heels, back mules, and even low-profile sneakers that are very sleek. Like sometimes you just want to wear the sneakers because you want to be comfortable or you just need a more secure footing. And just make sure that they're not like your gym sneakers. Pair with linen because that will destroy your look. A pair of sandals that looks great with linen just because it's a little bit of a lighter shoe is something like this. It's a Birkenstock that feels very light, not just in color, which can be important, especially when you have like a dark, chunky, black loafer that just feels overall heavy in every direction. A really great pair of shoes to wear that's comfortable but also looks a little bit more elegant. And if you want to take it a step further for a work look, then a shoe like this is amazing because it's also very light and diminutive, but there's a little bit of a heel and elegance. These are just like freshly dropped. I just got these by Quince, and they also have them in lighter colors as well. I just really wanted the black. A little bit of a 90s inspired look. And if you want more 90s inspiration, I just did a video on how to style the 90s minimalism and glam as well for the most fun. The third mistake is not watching the waistline. What I mean with this, when it comes to linen bottoms, there's a huge array of waistbands. There is, at the most casual, the drawstring look, where these pants that I'm showing you here are really comfortable. They're by J. Crew, and it's very difficult to take them off. They look amazing. So the drawstring pants here are the most casual. Then we've got more of like the pull-on pants. These are also by J. Crew, and they're equally comfortable, but they just have a really nice elastic waistband. And then we have more of the trouser structure, where whether or not it has pleats, but it has belt loops. And the minute you have belt loops, it means that you can make it look a little bit more elevated, polished, more formal by wearing a belt. So that's kind of the range of the casual meter, if you will, on all of these pants. When you have the most casual drawstring pant situation, this is when you have to really lean into that relaxed, almost like athleisure type of intention. You want to pair the pants with flip-flops or the sandals that I just showed you, a matching linen top, a white t-shirt, or a tank top, and just keep everything nice and light, because that is a drawstring pant. You don't want to add much polish to this because it's not going to look cohesive. Now, this kind of middle of the road casual meter with the pull on, especially when it comes to these pants, I could wear something a little more formal, like the button down vest that's also in a linen, because it is in a linen. And so it looks very cohesive and intentional. And then with these pants, I could also get away with wearing like maybe espadrilles or more of a heel, more jewelry, because you can make them a little bit dressier. And then especially with these pants, I have some really nice pleats right in the front that are very elongating. And then the material also, unlike the other pair of pants with the drawstring, is a little heavier, so it falls nicer. Anytime that you have linen that is a little heavier, it's going to look more structured and elegant and take it up a notch in terms of the elegance. Now, when you have a pair of linen pants that has either pleats or no pleats, but definitely the belt loop, then that should be your signal that this pair of pants should include a belt, because it's going to make it look more polished. One of my favorite pair of pleated linen pants that I have ever had, and I've had lots, are these by Quince. It has a matching vest that I absolutely love, and I haven't even worn this pair of pants with a belt just because the vest does so much. It's a great example of when you pair the matching top and bottom with linen. It is such an easy outfit, and it looks very intentional, and you can see that the linen shirt, even though it is a vest, and vests intrinsically are more formal and a bit more fancy and meant to be elegant, because it is linen, it's a little more relaxed. It doesn't really constrict me, so it is a huge winner for me. I love this look and love pairing it with a texture bag like in Quince's woven bag. Now, the other two bottoms that have belt loops are this pair of shorts. These are by Nordstrom's. They're a fantastic deal. They fit really beautifully. They have little tiny pleats that just add elegance and no bulk. And then these olive green pants by Sanctuary are also really comfortable. They have the belt loops and they're flat fronts with pockets in the front actually. So giving it a really nice vintage vibe. With both of these, I can belt them or not belt them, but again, I think that the belt loops do kind of encourage you just to put something in between and elevate the look. Let me know which one of these looks you prefer. I really love the way that the white pair of linen shorts looked in this outfit, and I really am not a fan of shorts historically, but I really love the way this looks. And also, I am super pale and added just a little natural looking like sprinkle of color to my legs with the Clarins 24-hour glow that is very drama free. Like, you know how sometimes self tanners can like rub off of things or just like be really streaky or uneven, or just like they drastically turn you into a completely different color. This is my second day using it, and I just feel like a little bit more color today. It just helps my legs not look like skim milk, which is a different problem for a different video. So we added the belt, which brings me to number 4, is making sure that you're wearing the right accessories. This is not the time for heavy work bags and just, you know, kind of like a briefcase look and that sort of thing. You really want to opt for the raffia bags, shoulder bags. If you are gonna pick a leather bag, it's great to do it with linen pieces where you are wearing a belt, or just something that Again, elevates the luxury, whether that is gold jewelry. Straw bags are great. I just spotted this one by Zimmerman that I have in and out of my cart. Like it's been sitting in my cart for a week. Let me know if I should do it or not. It's so pretty. But if you are gonna wear a leather bag, a great way to kind of add more gravitas to the look is to have chunkier statement jewelry or the belt, as we discussed in number 3. The other great thing about the jewelry, and I love these earrings by the way, these are by Bauble Bar. These are not really something that I would think I would go for, and I just kind of got them on a whim and I can't stop wearing them. Cosplaying being a mermaid. But adding these very trending, chunkier pieces are a great way to take your outfit from day to night. In even a fancier occasion like a date night or just some special evening. A lot of it has to do with the accessories, and not to mention how you do your hair and makeup. Do like a top bun during the day, then that is very consistent with an overall linen look. But if you either curl your hair or straighten your hair or just brush your hair some days, right? And just like add a pop of color for your lipstick, it can be a really great way to elevate your linen look from day to night. Number 5, we have to talk about it's wearing the wrong underwear. Linen is usually pretty thin, hopefully not too thin. That's like the next one. And sometimes because it is spring, summer, we're doing lighter colors, which immediately means that we can see everything that's happening. One thing that is a pet peeve of mine that you probably won't be able to unsee is when you have the linen pants or shorts where you can see the pockets like sticking through. And forget the underwear, like you can see the pockets and it's just so distracting. So I don't know what can be done about that. I know that sometimes, pockets are great, right? Like I think a lot of times we're deprived of pockets as people wearing women's clothing. But the biggest offender is just not thinking your underwear through. And sometimes like, I'm not even saying like wearing like a black pair of underwear, right? But it can be sometimes like a white pair that can show just as much as a black pair. I saw some kind of like fun hack on TikTok, I think, about how like sometimes if you wear like pink or red bra or underwear, like it doesn't show through. I haven't proven this to me. I usually just stick to my skin tone and choose underwear that fits the bill for that. I love anything that has like a shorts kind of seamless look because it helps smooth out any kind of lumps or dimples and I just feel more confident. But if push comes to shove, other underwear that I really like are these by Amazon. They're very affordable and they're great. All right, number 6, you're wearing the wrong linen. This is tough. Sometimes it's trial and error, and sometimes even within brands, you can find divergent consistencies and quality. So if you're a person, you're only gonna do 100% linen, which is fair. I actually think that a touch of synthetics with linen or any kind of natural fabric can really help make that fabric more wearable, like have it be less maintenance and also even last longer. So when you have a linen that's mixed in with a modal or even a cotton, it's automatically going to be a little bit less wrinkly than like the 100% European linen. And that's one beef that I have with some of the Quince linen is because it is 100% European linen and sometimes it can be really thin. And so for example, this dress, it's a very light colored 100% linen dress that ends up looking really wrinkly, and some people do not have a problem with that, and I'm not saying that you should. I personally don't like the way that looks on me, so I prefer something that's a little bit heavier. The other way that I get around this look is if I am doing a 100% linen look, then opting for a darker color where the wrinkles don't just like take over the entire look. They just add a little bit of ease and like lived in quality that feels great for spring, summer, but that doesn't like become the whole look, like looking super wrinkled. So this is a good way to get around it if you insist on wearing 100% linen. The other thing too is with tops, I feel like it's more forgiving to have this lighter material in terms of weight and also color, and it can get away with being more wrinkly when it comes to full-length dresses and bottoms. It just looks very distracting to me, so that's a personal preference, but these are just kind of considerations that you can make. Also for bottoms, you don't want something that's a very light linen and that doesn't have a higher GSM, which is just the weight of the linen. You do want to have something that is thicker so that we can't see your underwear or your pockets. Number 7, white linen is way harder to maintain than anything else. And watch out for that yellowing linen that tends to happen in all whites, but very much in cotton and linen. Something about it that before you know it, you start out with a very nice crisp European summer look, and then 2 years down the road, it's kind of looking like you were caught in a dust storm in the middle of a desert. And if you're trying to save a piece, you can bleach it. Just make sure that you don't bleach linen all the time. You will kill the fibers of the fabric. But that is just something to watch out for, because that's the last thing you want to do after you do all the work and pay attention to the other separates that you're using, the shoes, accessorizing correctly, picking a belt or not picking a belt, and then wearing a yellowing linen would be devastating. And it also makes you look cheap. For more ways to not look cheap this season, make sure to watch this video. I'll see you there. And if you learned something today, make sure to hit the subscribe button.